there was a running back with an 85% snap share, 8 targets, 6 catches, and 123 total yards last week, I don't think anyone would think that person is Chase Brown. Chase Brown is a bell cow. We had some people maybe drafting 0 RB to start the year, and this was the guy, maybe the only guy that you had to get if you were a 0 RB drafter, because this is the free square you needed. This is one of the few years there hasn't been a lot of free squares, and this is pretty much the only one. This is a guy that's a locked-in starter. He's got it all. He's got the speed, he's got everything, and he's got the opportunity, and that's the biggest thing right now. So I see him as a top 3 running back this week. Let's see it. Let's look what can happen. Marcus, what do you got?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to stick with a little bit of our Cleveland Browns theme throughout the night and go with Jerry Jeudy. Over the last 4 weeks, he's been averaging almost 25 fantasy points per game. He's seen 36 targets over those 4 weeks. And surprisingly, the Chiefs matchup, I think, is a little bit favorable for him from a fantasy perspective. Their pass defense is allowing the 10th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers over the last 2 months. And that includes, if I was looking it up correctly, the second most to the slot where Jeudy spends a lot of his time. Again, comparing it to ESPN, Judy's ranked outside their top 25 consensus rankings. I think that's a mistake. I think he's easily a top 20 wide receiver from just what we've been seeing. For me, it's Jerry Jeudy. Start him confidently if you got him.
Jameis.
I'm going to move on to a guy playing in probably what's, I would guess, the highest over-under. I think it's well over 50 points, like 54.5 maybe, and that is the Lions and the Bills. I like Jamison Williams. He's ranked number 30 on ESPN's wide receiver rankings, which is kind of like a borderline starter. I think he's a starter this week. He is a little inconsistent, but I think this game is going to kind of resemble what we saw of the Bills last week, a lot of back and forth scoring opportunities. Bills are going to have to focus on stopping that run game, stopping Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that's when Jamison gets you over the top for a big play. So start Jamison Williams this week.
And Marty. Let's hit it.
I'm on Derrick Henry. So obviously if you have Derrick Henry, you're starting him. So this may be more beneficial for betting purposes. But this week he's going up against the Giants in a game that, as I mentioned with my bust, that I expect the Ravens to completely control and win so easily that they kind of just get to choose who gets the touchdowns. And Derrick Henry's had 2 pretty big games in a row where he didn't score. He has over 200 rushing yards the last 2 games with 0 touchdowns, and they had the bye. So, I mean, we're talking about a man who hasn't been in the end zone in 4 weeks, but he has scored 15 touchdowns this year. And then we'll also add that the Giants are giving up the 4th most rushing yards to teams this week.
He just got a fresh haircut too, Marty. You think that's going to help him a little bit faster without the big dreadlocks?
Yeah,
maybe.
That just dreadlocks have been slowing him down.
Imagine where Derrick Henry would be in his career if he would have done this sooner. What could have been?
Did he always have
Ravens?
As far as I can remember, he had that, stiff knot of hair coming out the back of his head.
That's how I recognize him. That's how I'm like, oh, Derrick Henry's out there for the ball. That's what
otherwise you pick that Skyler Williams.
6'3", 250. I mean, nothing else stands out.
I got to tell you, I think back on playing the backyard football with you guys, and just imagine if Derrick Henry was there instead of, what was his name, Mark? Mark? Isn't there a big guy, Mark, that everyone was?
Justin King.
Yeah, Justin King.
You're talking about Jimmy D and Levi's dad?
Yeah,
Jeff Williams.
Jeff Williams.
Shout out to Jeff if you're watching.
Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to James D.O.D.
Not a fun person to tackle.
Shout out to the kids that were the 12-year-old kids there with the grown-ass men.
Yeah, I ran into Jeff Williams maybe a year ago. He towed a vehicle. He works for a towing service, towing vehicles. Marty, did you have something to say along those lines?
No, I think Derrick Henry would have scored a touchdown almost every time he touched the ball.
Oh gosh, and Jimmy D.
Would be every time, not almost. It literally.
No, we would tackle him at least once. Come on.
On occasion, we could bring him down. One out of
I don't
even try.
Marcus wouldn't try. I agree that. I agree with that.
Well, hey, hold on. We're all older than Derrick Henry, though, right? Like he's 30, so we would have had a little bit of an edge on him when you guys were 7 years older than him. No,
Yeah, when he was 10, we were 14.
If I'm
Still
We were
15 and he's
17. He was a
8, maybe
10-year-old.
huh? Yeah.
I bet
Well,
Derrick Henry was a big 10-year-old.
And guys, if you've been watching this long, make sure you smash that like button. It helps us out a lot, and definitely hit the
Nobody's
subscribe
watching.
button. And
We
just so
lost
you
him to Jeff
know,
Williams.
Jason
No, we didn't lose him.
Jason has agreed to give away an Apple iPhone 1 to one of our subscribers. All you gotta do is just say what section is your favorite, the best bets or the crystal ball picks. Drop it down below. Jason's giving an iPhone 1 away. Yes.